Hey, everybody. Like a boss. That's what we're going to be talking about today, but we're going to be referring to the ISFP. Oh, before I forget, please subscribe. Please like the video, especially if you're an ISFP or you're a fan of ISFPs. When I see the like buttons hit, then that lets me know I need to make more videos of that particular Myers-Briggs type. So let me know in the comment section if there are any particular ISFP videos that you want to see me make. And definitely check out my playlist because I do have some other videos of this type. But yeah, I was recently inspired to do a video about ISFPs when they are bosses. So raise your hand if you like bosses. Put in the comment section if you've ever had a really difficult boss. What was your favorite boss and what was your least favorite boss? And do you know what their Myers-Briggs was? What did you like about them? What did you dislike? Yeah, let us know in the comments because I don't know anybody who just loves having a boss. I mean, it's definitely a necessity. I think bosses should absolutely be respected. Some people say God assigns many bosses. And so you want to show them respect because I think without good leadership, a company would never flourish. You have to have someone who's leading, someone's point of view. And depending on the point of view, the atmosphere changes. So you got to have one. Even if you do not like having a boss, they are necessary. So most people don't like to be told what to do. When you think of boss, you think of the word bossy. So most of us want some autonomy. We want to, if we're experts in a certain field, then we want to be able to navigate, perform our jobs without being micromanaged. I think everybody needs a little bit of freedom, but at the same time, remember not to take advantage and do the best you can. Be respectful. So let's get into this. ISFPs, what kind of bosses do they make? What do you think of an ISFP boss? And have you ever had one? I will say it might be a little rarer to have an ISFP boss, but they do exist. So, what is your perception outside of the workplace or outside of an ISFP leading you? What is your perception of them? When I think of them outside of the workplace, I think of them as fun. They want to have fun. They want to enjoy themselves. I think usually they tend to be more quality time in the love language department, not necessarily because they are introverts, but they're nice. They're easy to get along with. Sometimes they can kind of stare at you. I know INTJs are known for that particular brand of stare, but sometimes ISFPs can kind of have this stare that they do as well, where they're kind of silent, but they're usually nice and respectful. I've seen them kind of on both ends of the spectrum, not to be mean, but I definitely have seen a few lazy ISFPs where they don't want to do much or they don't want to work hard. I would say that is on a smaller percentage scale. They may every now and then feel that they need to take a break from work and start over at a new place and just take a moment to recharge, to rejuvenate. So they can be easygoing in general, go with the flow, all of that. But when they get into the boss mode, something shifts, something changes. Now, if they are just a coworker and they're not a boss, I have definitely seen ones that are super responsible, very dependable. They follow through with their work. So, like if they're at home, they maybe start a lot of projects and never ever finish them or never see them to completion. but they're not generally like that in the workplace. They still are going to want some structure there. They're going to want to complete what they start. They're not going to like a boss that's totally all over the place. But yeah, they are very responsible. Now, when they get to be in that boss mode, it's kind of like when you see them in parent mode. Of course, there are going to be some easygoing, laid back parents, but they can surprise you in the parenting role because they can be really kind of strict with their kids and have super high expectations, and they sort of bring that train of thought into boss role. When they're the boss, they're not someone to play with. That doesn't mean that you can't play with them, or that you can't joke with them, or that you can't be silly and playful at times. In fact, they can like being funny and making everyone laugh. But when it comes to checking to see, are you doing everything that you're supposed to be? They are going to be the accountability kings and queens. They're going to check every box. They're going to go through every priority, every task, every document, any and everything that you are tasked to do. They're going to expect you to do it. And they may not be mean or nasty. They will be respectful and kind, but they're just gonna, when it's evaluation time, I need to see all of your work. I need to see everything, every little tiny part. And they do believe in raising the standards on accountability. If this is the goal that we're trying to reach, I'm going to measure and make sure that you reached that goal. So you might would think that they would be soft, easygoing. I'll let that slide. Oh, you can get away with that. Oh, yeah, I know you're having a bad day. They might be understanding when it comes to you having a bad day, but when it's time to produce, you better have every duck in a row. Here's the thing. They're probably not going to yell at you, scream at you, put you down, be disrespectful. But let's say you can make anywhere from 1 to 10 on every task that you're supposed to complete. They will just give you the 2 and go on. If that's what your performance level is. Like if that's the lowest, one of the lowest numbers, they'll give you that 3 or that 4 if they feel like that was what you did. And they will also give you an 8 if you are doing a fantastic, excellent job. They kind of like to be hard and tough. For some reason, they have this need. I don't know if they're trying to show you how tough they are, or I think there is a level of importance there. And I don't know if it's an inner competitiveness that they are bouncing against, but their expectations are super high, and they probably would rarely give you 9s or 10s. In fact, they would want you to understand that a 5 is great. Why are you upset about a 5? I mean, that is actually really, really good. Now, raise your hand if on a scale of 1 to 10, you got a 5 and you thought that was really good and something that you should be proud of. Most people are not. No, most people are not. But the ISFP is going to feel like they're giving you a really high mark when they're giving you that 5 or that 6. Now, if you think that you are better than that, if you feel like you've worked super hard, you have done everything above and beyond, then you better bring proof. You better bring evidence to back your claim up. You better fight for it. Because you could be the best of the best, and many times there's something that they're judging you by, that, or it could be an internal thing as well. And not to say that they won't give you some eights and nines. They may give you some eights and nines, but they're probably not going to give you all eights and nines. Yeah, that's just, no. They're introverted, and so I think that introversion intensifies their personality type. I think them being a sensor gives them a good sense of order and what's linear and focus. Whereas, an N might see lots of possibilities. They're going to go straight in a line. What does the data say? What are the expectations here? So they're going to be tough, man. They're going to be a lot more serious when it comes to judgment time. Now, they can be very understanding. There's also a piece of them, and you can let me know if you've noticed this, but there is a piece of them that wants to be popular. I know. Sounds weird. It's not weird to want that. I guess that's the wrong word. It's not weird. It might be surprising to you. I will say it like that. Because you might think of popularity as, oh, when you're in high school, you're the popular football player or you're the popular cheerleader. They want to be popular. They want to be well liked. They want to be the most liked. And so they will go out of their way to maybe do things like speak to everyone in the morning, or tell everybody jokes, make you laugh, draw you in. So they have this persona of being very kind, very caring. They are flexible. If you have a situation that's happening, they're going to be very understanding of your life situations or what's happening to you. They're going to be very kind, very nice, very helpful. They can also get things done quick, fast, in a hurry. Remember, they've got that SP, that action, that adrenaline rush. And so they can handle a whole lot of things at the same time. They can go into their introversion and really concentrate. So they can be quick thinking, fast moving in a crisis or in a situation where, okay, I'm checking, I've got all these people calling me. They're saying they're going to be late or they're not going to be here today. They will be laser focused, be juggling several different issues at the same time, and they will get it done. If you offer them help, now some of them may be delegators where they hand off everything. But if they're the 3 on the Enneagram, where threes feel like there's no such thing as too hard work, and you offer them, hey, I can help you on a certain task because I know it's complicated, they'll be like, I got it. I don't need any help, but thank you. I got this. And they will really cover their P's and their Q's and have their ducks in a row and make sure that everything is done the correct way. So they may not feel like perfectionist, like an NT type perfectionist or 1 on the Enneagram perfectionist, but they can get things right. You can feel their precision, and it actually feels good in many ways working for them because they have that balance. They're not tyrants, they're not difficult, they're easygoing, easy to please, easy to say, hey, I've got an idea. They're not going to want to hurt your feelings, but at the same time, they do have a high level of expectation and they can make very thorough bosses. They're going to understand what it is that they're supposed to know. They're going to know it very well and be able to teach it and explain it. So, unless they are, you just have an unusual boss, generally speaking, ISFPs can make great bosses. I've seen them own their own businesses. I've seen their style be either, hey, nothing is complete, but I'm jumping in there kind of a thing, and we're going to make it happen. I'm not going to spend 100 years planning and putting every detail together. Let's just jump in there type of business and let's make it work. I've seen ISFPs have very, very successful businesses. They are extremely creative people, as we know. They love ideas, but when it comes to and you know what? Sometimes they may struggle with lateness or, like I said, personal projects or things like that outside of work, outside of being the boss. They may struggle with that, but they can make top-notch bosses and take their job very seriously and be very likable at the same time to work with. They are very linear, pragmatic thinkers, and so their work environment that they're leading is going to be very linear. It's going to have some structure to it. It's going to make sense. They can create systems that work, that make sense, that keep things flowing in a very nice way and a nice order. So they're not going to be chaotic and have a crazy environment unless the place is just already so out of control that they can't gain that back. The other thing about them is, you know how you go to meetings sometimes and you're like, I hope we get to leave early, or I hope this ends early so we can go home quicker type thing. If they are the boss, there's a great chance that they are going to watch that clock and they're going to make sure that everyone leaves on time, quote unquote. What I mean by that is they could end it early, but they're not. A lot of them will not. They're going to stretch it out until it's time to go. They're not going to be hey, let's get out of here, or let me give you this privilege, or let me treat you today by letting you go home soon. When they're in that boss position, like I said, even though some ISFPs can be late to everything, when they step into that boss role, there's something that clicks in their minds and they just want to have this tough lane. I hope all of you have the experience of working with an ISFP boss. They're not tyrants or difficult, but if you do work with a super difficult boss that's always putting you down, that's always angry, that's always yelling, throwing papers, just talking down to you, pointing in your face, screaming at you, always out to get you, you might be dealing with a workplace narcissist or a workaholic narcissist, which is what I wrote my book about. It's called The Workplace Narcissist by Tamara Hunter Zyon. And those kind of bosses can be nightmares to work with. In fact, I feel like if you're not careful, they can ruin your life because it's hard to get over that type of abuse. And even when it's in the workplace, no one deserves to be abused, put down, berated, disrespected, stepped on just because somebody is in a place of authority. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't do your best or that certain workplaces might not be the right fit for you, but that needs to happen in a discussion. So definitely, if you are having difficulty with someone at work, check out my book, The Workplace Narcissist. I promise it will help you tremendously and it will take away the confusion. All right, you guys, share this video with other ISFPs that you know And be sure to like the channel and definitely subscribe so that we can stay connected and get to know each other. All right, thanks, friends. I really appreciate all your support, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.